issues like never before, because this energy, this frequency is doing this. It's creating this. Watch the movie Kingsman, part 1, 2, and 3. I know it's kind of crazy to believe that maybe some of the issues with emotional regulation and intimacy, love attachment issues, insecure love attachment, borderline personality disorder, narcissistic personality disorder, autism, ADHD, complex PTSD, all of these things are being used as a reason to usher this in. So even that was genetically and socially engineered through. I can see when this frequency takes over somebody's consciousness. I can feel when it's affecting me because I go numb. And it's the strangest feeling. I feel so disconnected. I don't feel connected to my guides. I don't feel connected to my divine self. I don't feel connected to Source, Mama Earth, just nothing. It's so strange. I feel like nothing is communicating with me spiritually. I feel alone, all of these things. This frequency is being emitted.
Anger, with fear, with lust, and all the things that are typical for a grown-up, to make sure that he makes his thing in this life. This is kind of an attempted initiation. If the child is not ready, this ends up as a terrible soul loss. The attempt to become adult leads to a soul loss. The adult self is ejected from the body, goes into a form of dream state outside of the body. And then you have an empty sphere, no human inside, that needs to basically survive a couple of years until he's really grown up and can fix things again. And then nature has a beautiful solution. It pulls in an archetype from the collective field. It's instinctive behavior. It pulls in an archetype that needs to fulfill a couple of roles. And this archetype, if you look at him from his qualities, he's Janus-faced. He's got two completely different appearances in one character. If a fight impulse is triggered, trauma response pattern, fight, you have the 4 Fs, fight, flight, freeze, fawn. They have an order in which they appear in every individual, depending on the childhood. What worked best comes first. So if a fight impulse is triggered, this Janus phase is showing the narcissist. And the duty of the narcissist is basically to mirror himself in the observation of himself through the eyes of the other ones. Because he cannot make a decision, this is who I am, because the I am is out. So he needs to have something reflecting back to him to form a self that meets the needs of the people around him. So he's clicking into his environment in a way that he serves his environment best, with a goal to be liked. And this is the only possibility. It's like if you have a muscle and one cell is dead, and the vacuum that is left is trying to mimic the cells around to be functionable. It's a beautiful concept. And in that way, he acts responsible without being responsible, because you cannot be responsible if your soul is not in. And at the same time, he has the ability to go into a codependency with the other side of the Janus head, which is the people pleaser. The people pleaser is solving the same problem in a different way, because he fawns first. He is adopting to the wish of others. And then it's very easy for him to not be responsible, because he's just copy-pasting the will of others into his life. He cannot make a mistake because he just serves. And he goes in codependency with the narcissist to form a hierarchy. So the narcissist picks up the good from his environment and makes the people pleaser follow his ideas. And together they create a lot of pain. The narcissist is torturing the people pleaser because the people pleaser has no real self. He has a personality that tries to fit in as long as the true self is out. So the narcissist starts to destroy the false self of the people pleaser to the point where he says, I've got enough and I heal now. I pull in my true self to have something to defend myself against the narcissist. And the narcissist goes into that cycle of trying to be the loved one, but all he is experiencing is being disgraced. So he goes back to his original pain as well, restaging the original trauma, waiting for the moment where he can reinvite his true self and really become an adult that is initiated. So the concept brings healing on both sides, is stabilizing society through hierarchies.
This is why we attract the partners we attract. So many people now are breaking up and getting divorced and stuff. And like after the pandemic, we had time to spend a lot of time together and figure out these differences between us. But what hardly nobody is talking about is relationship alchemy. I'm like, do the alchemy. I'm not saying don't leave, but do the alchemy. What is your partner mirroring for your shadow self? Because at the end of the day, we all go get this work. Everybody is on their own spiritual journey with their own divine timing. We go get the work. But just see, like, what is this bringing up in me? So when my partner do things and it hurts my feelings, I'm able to identify like patterns from my childhood. And I'm like, oh, that's what this is. And yes, we would love to have partners who could just communicate it to us. You know, baby, you have insecure love attachment. And it's triggered whenever I pull away to focus on my own projects. We would love for it to come like that, right? But how many of us would fucking listen? Look, we grew up in this hard man's world, so we hard-headed. It don't work like that. We have to have experiences to teach us, because it is truly the best teacher.